Pantsers rejoice! Yay! So today I'm going to be giving you 6 exercises on how to plot your story without actually plotting your story or outlining or anything like that. So let's get into it. Hello. Welcome back to Mommy Scribbles. My name is Dawn and I am your virtual writing and self-publishing coach. I am super pumped that you are here today because this is the place where we are going to rethink our writing, shut off that inner critic, and just play on that page. I'm going to give you quick, actionable steps so that you can be the confident writer that God has called you to be. My goal is to simplify your writing and self-publishing journey. So strap on your seatbelts and let's get into it. So in the previous video, we talked about how to crush self-doubt. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about plotting. And I'm going to give you 6 writing exercises to help you plot your story without actually plotting. So, as we ask questions and explore the world of our story, we're going to find out more about our characters, and situations and little pieces of dialogue are going to be revealed to us. And it's going to lead to more questions that are just going to come up naturally. It's kind of cool because we can ask ourselves, I wonder what's going to happen next, because it's just like this big surprise. It's really cool. So the key here, though, is that we don't have to know how or where these images are going to fit into our story, okay? So for this first exercise, I want you to write as your protagonist and pretend your protagonist is telling you a secret. Now, usually I don't condone secrets, but, there are certain times where you just keep things to yourself. So be willing to write the thing that you would never tell anyone. Just pretend no one's going to read this because this is for you so that you can get to know your character on a deeper level. So for 5 minutes, as fast as you can, I want you to write as your protagonist, starting with one thing you still need to know about me is. One thing you still need to know about me is. Ready, set, go. Pause the video and come back. So at this point, our focus is to just stay connected to the characters as we can see them live out their lives, almost like we're watching a movie. You know when you're watching a really awesome movie and you just get so into it and it seems so real and you're like, oh my goodness, why did they just do that? Oh, I can't believe they just did that. It's literally like that. We can feel all the emotions and tensions and everything. It just pulls us in, okay? It's literally like that when we're writing our story like this. At this point, we may even start to get a little peek into the core dilemma that lies at the heart of our story. It's not important to be able to really write it all out and make sense of it, but we do need to be aware of the feeling that there's a problem that can never be solved. We shouldn't try to solve the problem of our story, though, because it's not possible. Problem is not actually a problem. It's a dilemma. And problems can be solved, but a dilemma is a problem that can't be solved without changing our perception, how we look at it. They say perception is reality. Well, yeah, it's really true. And when our protagonist starts to finally see things in a different light, that is when things start to change and come together and work itself out. It's kind of like that saying, the glass is half full or the glass is half empty. So like, some people will start off by thinking, oh, the glass is half empty and things are so terrible. But then when you change your perception, the glass is half full. Wow, I can do this. Things are looking up for me, It's kind of like that, changing your perception. The glass is still at the same level, but The only thing that changed is how you look at it.
So, hi, Dawn here. I was just thinking that if this is resonating with you at all, would you mind just hitting that like button and the subscribe button? It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and it just kind of helps, other people to see this content. Yeah, so if it's helpful at all. Thank you. Appreciate it. You're awesome.
It's just like that for your protagonist, okay? So for this next exercise, for 5 minutes, as your protagonist, write as fast as you can without thinking. I am beginning to question why I am beginning to question why I. Pause the video and come back. So what defines our characters are the choices that they make. Our characters are the parts of the story that make the story work, okay? It's like gears in a clock that work together. This is why our character sketches are sort of a waste of time. I know I just said that, but character sketches are just that. They're a waste of time. It kind of implies that our character's behavior is static and predictable, and we just know everything. And based on a set of predetermined traits, they're going to do this. But as human beings, we behave situationally, not characteristically. So imagining the world of the story allows for our characters to surprise us. Yay, surprise. And be unexpected so that they can respond to things that happen to them in ways that are based on our first impulses, okay? So for this next exercise, I want you to write as fast as you can as your protagonist, starting with, my parents think that I am. My parents think that I am. Pause the video and come back. Now, writing is kind of an act of faith, okay? Faith is simply action, okay? Faith is an action. Okay, writing is not an act of blind faith. We have faith in our story within that God already put it there. He put it there for us as information to tell others. And as we work with our story over time, we will begin to discover that the possibilities are something way beyond what we can imagine. Our story can have literally anything in it that we imagine once it is filtered through the lens of what we're trying to say, what God wants us to say through our story. Story structure is not a formula. Formulas are predictable, okay? There is nothing predictable about a well-told story, which is why plotting seems so hard for so many people. You can see good writing from a mile away when you have the ability to track the beats of a story, kind of like music beats, like bump, 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 bump. Okay? We need to tell the story in an interesting and believable way that ultimately leads to a transformation of some sort. Okay? That's what story does. It shows us a transformation. This person went from point A to point B. They're not the same person that they used to be before at the beginning of the story. Okay, that's good writing. Excellent writing is just the result of constantly asking questions, being curious, and being willing to put that curiosity before the result and take our agenda out of it. Okay, so for this next exercise, as your protagonist, writing as fast as you can without thinking about it. Don't be critical. Just write. The thing that people most admire in me is, okay, the thing that people most admire in me is, ... Pause the video and come back. So transformation is nothing more than a shift in perception. But a shift in perception does not necessarily mean a happy ending, okay? Freedom from the bondage of an idea does not necessarily mean that the girl gets the boy at the end of the story. Sometimes we only see the light when things go south. God uses the things in our life that are not that great for his glory, and his love and his light can shine through that. Because remember that out of the darkness comes the light, okay? So for this next exercise, as your protagonist for 5 minutes, I want you to start with the characteristic I'm least proud of in myself is ... So, as we write our stories, all we need to do as writers is take care of the quantity, and God is going to take care of the quality, because character suggests plot. And if we just write and we're open to what God wants us to say through our story, things are just going to start to make sense. This is his story, not ours. We may be the ones writing it, but there's something that God has inside of us that we're supposed to share with others. So for this next exercise, I want you to pretend that you are your protagonist for 5 minutes, starting with, I pretend to have forgotten about the time that. I pretend to have forgotten about the time that. Pause the video and come back. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments below if you're starting to see your protagonist's dilemma. I would love to see how you're writing your story, if it's changing at all. And remember, you can do this. I believe in you because you are uniquely, awesomely you. Until next time, keep scribbling. You can do this. I believe in you because you are uniquely, awesomely you. Until next time, keep scribbling.